All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is your first time joining. My name is Shane, and this is my landscape photography channel. So, in today's video, we're going to go over a neat little feature on the Canon R5 and R5C. I didn't have this feature on my previous Canon cameras. It is my understanding that some of the previous Canon cameras did have the feature, but I had the 1DX2 and didn't have this feature. And this feature is the bulb timer. So if you ever shot in bulb mode and you don't have a bulb timer, Canon R5C has one. If you're new to the Canon R5C and you never used it before, we're going to go over how to use it, where it's at in the menu, and cover all the details there. So first, let's talk about what is bulb mode. Well, if you're not familiar, bulb mode is a way to tell your camera to open the shutter for more than 30 seconds. So most of the time you cannot open your shutter, like in manual mode, you can't open your shutter for more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds is usually the limit. So what do? Well, you switch from manual mode, you switch to bulb mode. And inside bulb mode, most cameras I've dealt with, you press the shutter button, the shutter opens, and you can time it, and you can keep it open for as long as you want. And then you press the shutter button again, and it closes it. That's usually how the standard bulb mode works, right? So you can go past 30 seconds. Well, what's the downside of that? Well, the downside is when you're pressing the button, you're moving the camera, you're shaking the camera, and that's not good. So what do people usually do when they have a camera like that that doesn't have a bulb timer, just has a bulb mode? What do? Well, they end up using one of these remotes. They end up using one of these remotes. Either that or they use their cell phone. And let me tell you, I get tired of carrying these remotes in my backpack. I almost never remember to bring them, therefore they're never there when I need it. I cannot stand trying to keep that in my backpack. It's just my backpack's full. I don't want to deal with it. I never remember to bring it, so I never use it. So with the regular bulb mode, you have to press the button twice. It shakes the camera. It's not optimal. Usually someone's going to use the remote control or they're going to use their cell phone. And I hate to use my cell phone. I don't want to run my battery down on my cell phone doing that, right? I don't want to carry that remote control around. With the new bulb mode on the Canon R5 and R5C and some of these other Canon cameras, there's a bulb mode timer. You can actually go into your menu system and you can set a time limit. I can set it to 45 seconds. I can set it to an hour. I can set it to whatever I want it to be. So you can actually go in your menu system and set a bulb timer. How does that work? How do you keep from shaking your camera? Is that enough to keep you from shaking your camera? Not quite. What you do is turn your camera into bulb mode. You go into the menu system. You set it to whatever timer, however long you want your shutter to be open. If you want it to be open 45 seconds, set it for 45 seconds. Then what do? Well, then you go into your shot timer. There's actually a shot timer on your camera. You can set it for 2 on the R5, R5C. You can set it for 2 or you can set it for 10 seconds. And what that means is when you press the shutter button, it's going to count the 2. And then it's going to open the shutter. And then after 45 seconds with your bulb timer, it's going to close. Or if you got to set to 10, and you might set it to 10 when you got a bigger lens, because a bigger lens, it takes a little bit longer for it to quit shaking, right? So if I'm using my big 100 to 500 lens, I'll set it to 10 seconds, right? So what happens then? You press the shutter button, it counts the 10, it quits shaking, it opens the shutter, you get your 45-second exposure, it closes the shutter without you touching it, and then you have your picture. Hey, this will probably make more sense if I just show you. Let's jump into the menu, and let me show you how it works. All right, the first thing you want to do is go to your camera controls on top, whatever mode, shooting mode you have it in, switch it over to bulb mode. So this is how you turn your camera into bulb mode. Here you see I went from manual to bulb. The next thing you want to do is go into your menu system. I'm going to go over to menu system 6 there. Underneath the camera icon, you can see bulb timer. Now this is the feature I'm talking about. Bulb timer. Let's enable it. And let's set the time. You do that by pressing info or clicking the button there. So here you can set the time that you want the bulb mode to have the exposure open, to have the shutter open. Here I have it set for 40. That is awesome. Now next, before you take the shot, set your timer to 2 or 10 seconds. That way, when you press the shutter button, it's going to count to 2 or it's going to count to 10. And that way your camera can quit shaking and the bulb photo can happen. Here it's counting down from 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to take the shot. It's going to open your shutter for 40 seconds until it's done, until that 40 seconds is up, and you have your shot. All right, so hopefully that makes a lot of sense. It's much easier to use the bulb timer than to carry one of these remotes around or use your phone. You use the bulb timer in conjunction with your regular timer that starts the taking of the shot, the 2-second or the 10-second timer. You use those two things in conjunction, and you don't get any shakes from the button. You get a nice clean picture from bulb mode. Hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to do more tutorials on the Canon R5 and R5C in the future, so if you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoyed this video, click subscribe. If you haven't checked out our landscape photography videos, I'm going to put one right here so you can check it out. We go on landscape photography trips, different locations. We try to put a video out there, the different locations we visit. You get to see us taking photos and get to see some beautiful places. So be sure to check that out. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.